Now we see history of Kathak. Kathak means dance form. You all know it. Okay. So beyond regional frontiers, that is the story of Kathak. So you all know that Kathak is an Indian classical dance form, है ना? And its name comes from the Sanskrit word katha. Okay, that is वहाँ से वो originate हुआ था कथक. So it came from the Sanskrit word katha. Katha means what? Story. Okay, so its main features are rapid footwork and then elaborate customs. What is given in our customs, that is shown, and the rapid footwork is there. पैरों से काम होना. Okay, so special emphasis was laid on enactment of stories in Kathak. Okay, so Kathaks were originally a caste of storytellers who used songs and gestures. Okay, gestures to perform in temples in the northern parts of India. Then, in the 15th or the 16th century, what happened? Kathak evolved into a dance form as a part of the Bhakti movement. Okay, so Kathak was also performed in Mughal courts, and there it acquired the features that are prevalent even today also. Okay, later Kathak developed in two traditions, or we can say gharanas, in the courts of Jaipur and Lucknow, and it grew into a major art form with the support of Nawab Wajid Ali Khan. Okay, and in the late 19th century, Kathak grew in regions like present day Punjab, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, that is uh, these areas, these regions, Kathak grew. Now Kathak is there in all these regions. Okay, so classical dances, mainly what happened, maximum people are not interested in classical dances. Okay, but it is our traditional form of dance. Okay, as it is given in classical dance, the question of defining any art form as classical is often quite complicated. Okay, it is not easy to learn this. Okay, so do we define something as classical if it deals with a religious theme, or do we consider it classical because it appears to require a great deal of skill acquired through long years of training, or is it classical because it is performed according to the rules that are laid down and variations are not encouraged? So these all are the questions which we need to think about. Okay, why we are using this classical dance or classical word. Okay, so it is given that it is worth remembering that many dance forms that are classified as folk, it also shares several of the characteristics considered typical of class forms. So while the term classical may suggest that these forms are superior, these need not be always literally true. Okay, but that is, this is described, the word classical, why we are using, so many reasons are there. So other dance forms that are recognized as classical at present, what are the dance forms which we are saying as it is a classical dance? Like Bharatnatyam, okay, it is Tamil Nadu; Kathakali, it is Kerala; Odissi, Odisha; Kuchipudi, Andhra Pradesh; Manipuri, Manipur. So these are the dance form which we are considering it as a classical dance. Okay, clear? So now comes miniature paintings, that is paintings for patrons, the tradition of miniatures. Okay, so miniatures, that is small size paintings. Okay, they are generally done on cloth or paper using watercolors, although the earliest were done on palm leaves and wood. पहले, बहुत पहले जो है वो palm leaves और wood में होता था painting. Okay, so the Mughals used them mainly to illustrate historical accounts of battles, then scenes from the court, lives of peoples, etc. यही सब present करते थे उस miniature painting में. They were also used to illustrate Jain text. Okay, you can see in the picture also. Okay, so later this style influenced the paintings of Rajasthan, Deccan area to depict mythology, poetry, portraits of the royals. Okay, these all are the things which they used to show in these paintings. Then in the late 17th century, the style of miniature painting also grew as an art form, and it is known as Barsoli in the Himalayan foothills. So present day, that is Himalayan foothills means present day it is Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Also, when Mughal artists migrated to the plains, migrated means जब वहाँ से shift हुए, change हुए, they used Vaishnavite traditions and developed the Kangra school of paintings that used soft colors, क्योंकि सॉफ्ट कलर्स यूज करके होता था. सो दिस इज हाउ द स्टाइल ऑफ this miniature painting started with the Mughals, and it changed as it spread to other areas. Okay, and the Mughal also used new styles as they started living and working with the people in other areas. Okay, understood. So next we will see Bengali, that is growth of regional language. That is a closer look. Bengal, that is the growth of regional language, it is given. Okay, so Bengali, it is derived from Sanskrit, because in the 3rd and the 4th centuries, Bengal developed commercial relations with Magda. Magda means now we can say Bihar, where Sanskrit was spoken at that time. And in the 4th century, Brahmins settled in Bengal, and it made Sanskritic influence stronger. Okay, so in the 7th century, the Chinese traveler Zhuan Zhang, he traveled in Bengal, and he wrote in his travel journals that Sanskrit and other related languages were spoken almost all over Bengal. पूरे बंगाल में ये this language was spoken. So in 1586, Akbar conquered Bengal, and so Persian became the official written language, and Bengali became the regional and spoken language. Okay, that is in 1586. And by the end of 15th century, many dialects had become one language, that we call it as Bengali, and it was spoken in the huge area that we now call West Bengal. We all know that in West Bengal this language is spoken. Okay, and this literature of early Bengali, okay, it can be divided into two parts. That is, one, it is based mostly on Sanskrit. Okay, and it was composed between the 15th and 18th century, like Mangala Kavyas, that is the auspicious poems which is translated from Sanskrit, or Bhakti literature also. Okay, and the other one which we can see is the Nath literature, then folk tales, fairy tales, okay, etc. It is independent of Sanskrit, and it was used orally. Okay, so this shows how Bengali is made from Sanskrit, Persian, and many European and even Indian tribal languages. Okay, clear? I hope till here it is clear, everyone.